Alright, I think we are live. Epic stream inbound. Welcome back, chat. How we doing today? Ooh. So we do need to play ranked reload. Oh. We're not getting the blue popcorn bucket, I don't think. 'Cause I'm not good at builds and I accidentally started playing ranked builds. And I'm getting my ass handed to me. So this is gonna be a rough one, guys. But we're gonna try.
Watch. Like, I'm exhausted just thinking about it. We also know February will bring collabs with 3 gaming companies, Kakao Games, S-Game, and MintRocket, which could see Guardian Tales, Phantom Blade Zero, and Dave the Diver added by the end of the month. But later in the year, Fortnite could be planning on adding even bigger collabs like Minecraft and maybe even the return of Kratos in Season 2. After all, the biggest rumor right now is that we're going to see a Norse mythology season, and fans were hoping we would see a new version of Kratos back during the Greek god story, but I guess bringing him back for the Nordic one works too. Think about it, Sony just dropped the new God of War game, so it feels like perfect timing. By now, we've all grown used to having year-long chapters, but 2026 is about to completely change everything. That's because Chapter 7's map is officially vanishing on August 14th. Yeah, we're going to a totally different island in the middle of summer, and this could only mean one thing: a mini-season. There are so many ideas for what this could be. Some think it'll be a streamer battle pass, others think it's an anime season with shows like Solo Leveling and Chainsaw Man and especially One Piece. And think about it, One Piece Day is the very same week. Fortnite is going all in to bring VR back to its golden age, and they're proving this with a brand new permanent dev team that prioritizes player feedback and takes action to fix bugs and improve the game. We are finally going to go back to the days where Fortnite would solve our problems instantly, and honestly, it feels like they're gunning to finally win a game award. Epic are truly taking the future of the game seriously, and it's obvious that if they don't bring the game back to its former glory, Fortnite could die. So that's
all
why
right.
they're already introducing a
Let's see what
better
we can
anti-cheat
do.
to essentially delete hackers forever. Starting this month, anyone on PC is not allowed to play in a tournament unless they activate a ton of security options on their computer. This lets the anti-cheat catch hackers quicker than ever and will stop so many pros uninstalling because their games were ruined by a cheater. But 2026 is also preparing to bring the world's biggest franchises to Fortnite. Kingdom Hearts is just a couple months away from coming to the game, and this reveal has broken the internet. Everyone's freaking out about it. After all, it was leaked years ago and ended up being fake, which will let so many players down. But now it's actually happening and will tie in perfectly to the upcoming Disney mode. And that's not all. Cartoon Network is getting another show in the game, and this time it'll be one of their biggest characters, Ben 10. People are desperate to see how his alien transformations are going to work. It would be incredible if his edit styles work this way, but fans have also pointed out that you can now play as bosses in Chapter 7. So wouldn't a mythic be the perfect way to bring Ben 10 to life? Although Fortnite wanted to truly repair their image, they need to fix some of the worst collabs in history. And luckily, they're starting to get back fans' trust, beginning with Sonic the Hedgehog. When this came to the game and we realized it was just a car and some sneakers, it ended up being the most hated crossover of the decade. We couldn't understand what Fortnite was thinking. It was insane. But finally, they're redoing it from the ground up with a fully fledged crossover. We have skins, items, maybe even POIs. It's gonna be incredible. And this is how to sum up Fortnite's future. They're gonna go back towards a fan-focused, community-driven game, the way it used to be. Now I know a lot of these games gaming collabs sound overwhelming,
Okay.
but if you're buying the game
There
on the
must have
Epic
been an
Store,
update
you'll
today.
actually just get the crossover for completely free. This means that all the dedicated fans of each game will be able to enjoy them in Fortnite without spending an extra cent, and honestly, it's a genius move. Epic gets more people using their store instead of Steam, and fans get free stuff. Everyone wins. Now, when it comes to the crossovers themselves, we're finally gonna get more content than ever before. The biggest problem of Fortnite bombarding us with brands is how it's just an outfit that appears for like a week, and then no one ever talks about it again. But luckily, they're fixing it with a ton of mythics. This year alone, we have seen the Stick of Truth, K-pop Demon Hunter's weapons, and Kill Bill's katana, and they're gonna keep the excitement going in 2026. Some ideas on the table right now will be adored by fans, whether it's something like a medallion for Sonic the Hedgehog that gives you super speed. Kingdom Hearts could bring a Keyblade mythic, it would just be incredible. And if they end up bringing back Kratos and the Norse mythology season is real, then they could finally reward fans' patience with an actual Leviathan Axe mythic that comes back to you. I'll even take the Blades of Chaos, which they could easily make by using the Chains of Hades. If you need the best example of how Fortnite are truly locking in for 2026, just look at the event happening right now. In the past, Valentine's Day has been an afterthought, and this year they've designed an entire month of content with an actual roadmap. There's dozens of collabs, and as we showed earlier, the return of the Seven. Not only have we got a brand new event, but they tied it with the storyline so everyone can get involved. But what does it mean for the future of Fortnite? Well, just think about it. Remember how we used to get insane events like 14 Days of Summer, or April Fool's jokes, even full Easter content? This all stopped happening in recent years, and it was kind of depressing. But if Valentine's looks like this, imagine how the rest of the year will look like. Even Reload is getting a ton of love lately, even though Fortnite's focusing heavily on Battle Royale this year. They're making sure they don't repeat the mistakes that happened with Ballistic and Rocket Racing. Those two modes were neglected, if not totally abandoned, and fans are really upset about it. So Epic had two options. Either they can make these crazy games limited time, so they don't have to keep dropping updates, or they could finally give them some love. What did Fortnite do? Both. They introduced Fall Guys Crown Jam, an insanely fun basketball mode that everyone loved, but it vanished after just 2 weeks before it got boring. Then, when it comes to Reload and Festival, they continue to drop new seasons, maps, and headliners every few months. Just recently, Reload got Surf City, more fight weapons, and an upcoming Lantern Fest map, while Festival continues to bring the world's biggest artist to Fortnite. Earlier, I talked about how even more modes are coming, like Disney and the Extraction game, and it's made people worried that it'll take more attention away from our favorite modes. But you have to understand, Fortnite's been taking notes this whole time, and it looks like they're totally dedicated to fixing their mistakes. Even the smallest things, like Rift anomalies, are important to the game's future. They're the newest versions of reality augments mixed with Rift encounters, and we all know the story of how Epic just couldn't get these right. They've tried so hard to make them important. Like, they started off as fun gimmicks, but now Fortnite is perfecting them so they're crucial to the game. Originally, it was just extra help like care packages or Gold Rush, but then they started tying them into huge events like the Winter Ball for Christmas or the Stick of Truth for South Park. More recently, we even got a brand new type of anomaly that has an entire friend zone bubble. The more these shake up the gameplay, the cooler they are. And Fortnite needs to continue this trend if they want VR to feel unique in 2026. Luckily, we just got a bunch of leaks that reveal everything. Taco Time, the most iconic Rift Zone of Chapter 1, is coming back, along with anomalies that turn the area into a melee-only battleground. There's even one that makes it start raining with slurp clouds and heals everyone from above, which just sounds incredible. But what has truly changed Fortnite to its core is the brand new Battle Pass. Chapter 7 redesigned everything, giving us a system that lets you choose exactly what skin you want to unlock next. No more useless grinding, no more wasting time. You can get your favorite outfits faster than ever, and I mean, just look at this Battle Pass. There is so much personality to it. Instead of staring at a lifeless page full of brands, Chapter 7 actually has life to it, to the point where the animations of each character are them doing their render pose. Every little detail has been perfected, and we actually care about the original skins again. So if this continues next season, this is exactly how Fortnite is going to revive itself in 2026.
Next video.
base 44.
Guys.
Yeah.
What is happening, guys? Welcome back to Setup Wars, episode 374, the series where we show off the best setups across the world. If you guys have yet to be a part of the show, please toss in your submission. Make sure to watch the video link below to learn how to enter. But with that said, sit back and relax and let the show begin. Guys, we got wireless dynamic microphones before GTA 6. This is the Mano PD200W hybrid wireless podcast microphone, and I'm talking directly into it with no wires. No XLR, no USB cable attached. It is completely wireless. But it's also a hybrid microphone, so you can plug this in via USB or XLR if you want more control through the audio interface. It comes with some subtle RGB accents that you can control, along with a headphone jack on the bottom with quick access to mute and volume control for both the mic and the headphones. The included mic stand is nice if you want to keep this on your desk, but you can also hook it up on a boom arm, and overall the build quality is very nice. What's impressive though is the 60-meter wireless range of this microphone, and you get up to 60 hours of
Motherfucker, dude, I fucking hate builds.
But if you download and use the Mano Link software, you can control the lights on here, along with access to other settings like gain control, EQ settings, noise cancellation, and AI noise reduction. Here's what the microphone sounds like without any noise cancellation. Here it is enabled on their slight settings. This is set to moderate, and finally, we have aggressive. You guys be the judge. The Mano PD200 hybrid mic is the perfect choice for content creators who want to minimize desk clutter and for those who want something portable for on-the-go projects. Check it out by clicking my link down below. First up, we've got a returning contestant, Annie, who you might remember from episode 3.
Those ranked rewards.
A lot has changed since then, because since her last submission, she got married and she and her husband bought a new home, which is basically the perfect excuse to rebuild the battle station and come back stronger. Love to see you back on here, Annie. If you're an OG, you might also remember the infamous diploma incident, where it came crashing down on her PC. This time, she played it smart and kept that thing away from the danger zone, but she's planning to add a side shelf later on so she can display it safely along with some extra decor. The overall vibe is still clean and minimal, but now it actually feels more personal, because she leaned into her favorite colors, light blue and green, and it shows in the little touches everywhere. The custom acrylic painting above the setup is based on the colors of her wedding bouquet, and a lot of the decor is meaningful too, like her wedding photos, the art, and figurines she and some family members made themselves. Layout-wise, she's still rocking the same T-style dual monitor setup with the same exact monitor. She's got a 27-inch Dell as the primary and a 24-inch HD.
Just about to change my shit.
Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Everybody.
There's math, and then there's $10 Big New Yorker math. 201 square inches equals one slice for you, one for me, one for the guy who's like, we just ate, sure, and a couple for breakfast. You can't argue with the math. The $10 Big New Yorker, only at Pizza Hut.
There are a lot of great weapons in Fallout 76, but because there are so many different weapons, it's very easy to miss out on using weapons that are very strong. So in this video, I will be showing you a bunch of unique weapons that are actually much stronger than you think, and I'll be showing you how to get them. But before we get into this video, if you're a fan of the Fallout games and the Fallout TV show, click the link in the pinned comment below to join my Fallout Discord server, where you can find other
Damn, I fucking suck.
discuss the Fallout
Holy shit, I hope nobody's watching me. Why are you watching me?
Now, first up on the list are two unique weapons that will come from the same
Fuck, that was terrible.
That event will be the Beasts of Burden event. There will be a
Brother.
total of 6 unique weapons that can drop from this event.
Brother.
And while all 6 of them are good weapons, the 2 that you really want are the Elder's Mark SMG and the Holy Fire Flame. These are 2 very strong weapons that you should try to be getting your hands on as soon as you can. The Elder's Mark is currently one of the best weapons in the game. It will have a very high rate of fire, a solid base damage which you can improve even more with mods like the Prime Receiver, and it will drop with 3 legendary perks on it which work very well together, allowing you to easily fit this into your build or create a build for this weapon. The perks on the Elder's Mark will make it gain up to 9 stacks of Onslaught, and each stack will increase the weapon's damage by 5%. The second perk will increase the weapon's speed by 25%, and the third perk will make reloading 15% faster. But it's also a cursed weapon which will increase its damage by another 50% and increase its attack speed by 25%, but it will break faster. The Elder's Mark is a beast, and it's a weapon that I literally always carry on my character. The Holy Fire won't be as strong as the Elder's Mark, but it's still a very strong weapon, especially if you're using a build that centers around heavy weapons, fire damage, or the Holy Fire. The Holy Fire won't have much range, but it makes up for that by doing a lot of damage and damage over time. The perks on the Holy Fire will make it restore 2% of your health over 2 seconds every time you hit an enemy. The second perk will increase the weapon's speed by 25%, and the third perk will make the weapon break 50% slower. And again, the Holy Fire is a cursed weapon, so it will do 15% more damage, have a 20% faster attack speed, and break faster. Next up, we have a powerful Fat Man. To get it, you'll first need to go to the Ella Ames bunker, which will be right here on your map. And then when you get here, you'll need to find the terminal in the bunker, and then use it to look up the Rad Shield research, which will start a side quest called an Organic Solution. This will be a short side quest, but at the end of it, you'll be given the legendary Daisy Cutter Fat Man. This is a strong weapon that can do a lot of damage, but the best part about it is that it will come with the lightweight perk on it, which will reduce the weapon's weight by 90%. One of the worst things about using heavy weapons is their weight. So the Daisy Cutter allows you to carry around a hard-hitting heavy weapon that weighs less than 3 pounds, and it will also come with the Murph mod on it. To get the next weapon on the list, you'll need to do the Tunnel of Love event. This event can drop 2 unique legendary weapons, but one of them will be much better than the other. That weapon will be the legendary Burning Love bow. This is probably my favorite bow in Fallout 76, because number 1, it looks pretty cool, and number 2, it can do a lot of damage right away. The perks on this weapon will make it do 50%
Girlfriend
more
next
damage
to me.
to
Oh,
humans,
God.
increase its chance to hit in bats by 50%, and increase your damage resistance by 50 while aiming. But it also has a unique effect on it, which will make it do extra fire damage on every hit. Next up on the list is the Grand Finale. Now this one might seem strange, but the Grand Finale is a very good weapon. It will have a high base damage, but the perks on it will make it fire 2 cannonballs every time you pull the trigger. Increase the damage done by this weapon by 25% while aiming down sights, and increase your damage resistance by 500.
This super girlfriend
But it
said,
will also
hold
do
on.
an extra 10% damage. All of this together will make the Grand Finale hit very hard. But to get this weapon, you'll need to do the Seismic Activity event, which will happen when someone nukes the Abandoned Mineshaft 2 location.
Brother.
The next weapon on the list is a very interesting weapon that can do a lot of damage with the right weapon. And that weapon will be the
Get
Dragon.
out of my
This
face.
is a unique weapon, but it isn't a legendary weapon, so you'll need to put your own legendary mods on it. But the effect on this weapon will make it fire 4 high damage dealing bullets every time you pull the trigger. In my opinion, to make this weapon as good as possible, you'll want to put the quad mod on it to allow you to
Try to
shoot
go-
this gun
Ooh,
4
is it-
times before hitting
No.
the load. And in the
Not
third
worth.
legendary perk slot, you'll want to put durability because this weapon will break very quickly. And then in the second legendary perk slot, you can choose between either Rapid to make the weapon reload faster, or Hitman to make the dragon do 25% more damage while aiming. And the Pinpointers mod will work very well in the 4-star slot. Now to get the dragon, you'll need to talk to the vendor bots at the Watoga and Berkeley Springs train stations, as they will have a chance to sell it.
Alright,
And you can
chat,
also
there's a
check
chance
the
we
Free
lose
States
power.
vendor in the White Spring Mall. These 3 vendors will commonly sell this weapon, but you may have to swap between servers to find it for sale. Next up, we have the Cold Shoulder. Now, personally, this is one of my favorite weapons in the game. It's a double-barrel shotgun that will hit very hard and have a good rate of fire, but it also comes with some crazy unique effects. The first effect will increase its ammo capacity, making it hold 8 rounds at a time instead of the normal 2. The next effect will make it do 50% more damage to cryptid enemies, and the last effect will make it freeze and slow your enemies. I really love this weapon, and I use it pretty much every time I play the game. But to get it, you'll need to either buy it from the Atomic Shop for 700 atoms, or grind expeditions and buy it from Giuseppe at the White Spring Mall for 500 stamps. Another really great shotgun is the Kabloom, which you can get from the Safe and Sound event. I really like weapons that have unique effects on them, and the Kabloom is one of those weapons. The legendary perks on this weapon will increase its armor penetration by 50%, make projectiles explode on contact, dealing 20% more damage, and increase the weapon's reload speed by 15%. But the unique effect on the Kabloom will make this weapon poison enemies that are shot with it, which will do poison damage to them over time. The next 2 weapons on the list will come from the same event, which is the Most Wanted event. This is a very simple and common event, so
Okay,
it shouldn't
picking
be
up
hard
some
for you
kills.
to get
Picking
these
up some
weapons.
kills.
But
I
the
mean,
weapons
it's
that
a
we're after
bronze
from the
lobby.
Most Wanted event are the Gunther's
I'm not
Big
gonna pat
Iron
myself
and
on the back too much.
Not only will these weapons fit the whole Burning Springs cowboy vibe of this season, but they are also very strong weapons.
Brother, one at a
The
time.
Gunther's Big Iron is one of the better pistols in Fallout 76. It will hit hard and it will be very fast. The first perk on this weapon will make it fire 2 bullets every time you pull the trigger. The second perk will increase the weapon speed by 25%, and the third perk will increase its reload speed by 15%.
Ooh, fuck, that's good.
But the unique effect on this weapon will make it use 45 ammo, and it will reload an extra 45% faster. And the Western Spirit is a great rifle. The first perk on it will make it do more damage every time you hit the same target. The second
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
5% more damage while aiming, and the third perk will increase your reload speed by 15%. These are 2 really great weapons, and they're easy to get. The next 2 unique weapons will again come from the same event, which is the Eviction Notice event. This event can drop 6 unique weapons in total. Some of them really aren't good, but the 2 that I feel are really good are the Foundation's Vengeance minigun and the Crowd Control shotgun. The perks on the Crowd Control will reduce your target's damage output by 25% for 5 seconds after shooting them, make projectiles explode doing 20% extra damage, reduce the weapon's weight by 90%, and the Crowd Control will have an extra 25% armor penetration. This is a really good setup for a shotgun. And the perks on the Foundation's Vengeance will increase your damage up to 100%
I kinda want this.
as your health goes
That
down.
looks sick as
It will
fuck.
also fire explosive rounds that deal 20% extra damage, and when reloading, you'll gain 500 to all resistances. And the final unique weapon on the list is the All-Rise Super Sledge. Now, many people don't know about this weapon, but it's strong and it's very easy to get. All you'll need to do is go to the Watoga Municipal
It's kinda
Center,
cool, I
then
guess.
talk to the mayor on the top floor. This will
I
start
do
a
really
side
want
quest
that, though.
called Mayor for a Day, and at the end of it, you'll be given the All-Rise. The All-Rise is a hard-hitting super sledge that will have 90% reduced weight, and it will do 35% more limb damage, and while you're using it, you'll increase your maximum health by 10. And those are a bunch of very strong unique weapons that you don't want to ignore in Fallout 76. But I would love to know what your favorite weapons are in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.
This season, you've got places to go, people to see, and things to do. You may have already gotten vaccinated.
Hello everyone, the introduction of the Tiger Men recently, the brand new DLC for Total War Warhammer 3 is quite exciting for a number of reasons. For Shiva is really cool. but the most important thing that stuck out to me was the fact that the Tigermen are, in fact, Indish and not Cathayan. This means that we're starting to get units from different cultures not yet fully represented in the Warhammer Fantasy world, and it could lead to something quite good in the future. And today we need to speak about the Kingdoms of Ind, not just because it's something topical, but it should be kept in the conversation as much as possible to remind Creative Assembly that yes, we do want that. Don't think it needs reminding through Games Workshop, but there's a few reasons why. So let's talk about the Kingdoms of Ind. But before anything, a big thank you to our video sponsor, Instant Gaming. Instant Gaming is a platform where you can buy video games at a discounted rate. There are loads of games coming out now, like seriously, it's been just so much faster already than it has been in 2025. And yeah, a lot of games means a lot of money spent, so why not get yourself a discount through Instant Gaming when they've got deals on titles that have released and those that are soon to be released, like Resident Evil Requiem, one that I'm looking forward to myself because I love the Resident Evil franchise. 20% off, it's sweet. But not only that, but we do have our monthly giveaway going on. Win the game of your choice. All you gotta do is click on the link in the description below, sign up, and you don't even have to make a purchase. Making a purchase with my special link also in the description below supports the channel at no extra cost to you, which we think is rather cool. I've had a working relationship with this company since 2024, and it's always worked out quite well. I use their services myself, so I'm always happy to promote a company that I myself use, because, I mean, it's just a bit more honest that way. Once again, thank you to Instant Gaming for the sponsor. Let's return to our regularly scheduled programming. The subcontinent for Ind has always existed in the Immortal Empire's map. The problem is that, like Athelloren back in Warhammer 1, it's been closed off. Now, Athelloren eventually opened up, but it doesn't really mean that Ind, or even Koresh right next to it, is eventually going to open up, whether it be for its own DLC, or just for the sake of opening up the regions on the map to allow for a release of congestion within the game, which is very needed, by the way. Now, like the rest of the Warhammer Fantasy world, Ind also is based on something from our real world, that being India, being a massive subcontinent with its own peoples, cultures, religions, and the rest. We've never really had a lot of lore around that location, barring some brief mentions through a lot of Warhammer Fantasy roleplay books, and brief mentions throughout, say, for example, the Dark Elves and other races. Ind has always been a really curious point, and we have known it as the land of 1,000 gods. And I know many people do want Ind, not only in-game, but also Warhammer the Old World, because, I mean, new models, new monsters, to love. This isn't a call for the sake of diversity, but rather the fact that there's a giant blank spot on the map that is absolutely jarring. Now, the introduction of the Tigermen DLC, which we'll be releasing at some point this year, we hope, means that we're getting our first look at denizens of Ind, because it is confirmed that the Tigermen are considered mercenaries, meaning that they're not native to Grand Cathay, but rather from Ind. This is very obvious considering how the Indish creatures here do have some styling in terms of like weapons, and also just the jewelry. It's linked up to kind of medieval, kind of fantastical India, which is great. I think they look fantastic too. We even get lore tidbits saying that yes, this is one of the tribes, essentially from the highlands of Ind, that moved up to Grand Cathay after what can be assumed as a chaos invasion or just in general corruption attempt by Tzeentch, which we know that Tzeentch is very active in the east. It's not just Ind, we know that he's got quite a lot of prevalence in Grand Cathay, and also we know that he's active within the lands of Nippon. I think an important note to put from the lore blurbs is that yes, they still worship their Indish god Kamau, which is the chief deity for the Tigermen, which is curious because most religion has been outlawed in Grand Cathay in respect of not allowing for corruption, I assume, or to try and limit it as much as possible. But the Tigermen, seeing as they're not Cathayan and still don't identify as Cathayan, they do still worship their deities. The important part here is because that means that the Indish pantheon is still very much active, and yeah, that's great. Now we can maybe get a little bit more information as time progresses. We do have to talk about the fact that the artwork posted by Games Workshop shows them having more Cathayan style gear, barring the shield, I believe. But I guess that's chopped up to the fact that, yeah, these have been for a few generations, and it's likely that the Cathayans are arming up the Tigermen around the region, because, I mean, it makes sense for these very powerful mercenaries to also have the best armament possible when dealing with the forces of chaos, as we now know that not only are they active around this period, but they were active during the time of Asavar Kul, who, as you are aware, or may not be aware, is the ever-chosen during the time of Warhammer the Old World, and led the forces of chaos in the event known as the Great War Against Chaos, one of the most devastating wars in the history of Warhammer Fantasy. So, yeah, the Tigermen have likely become very useful during a lot of that period, and coming up to the nowadays period, obviously leading up to the end times. The Warhammer art specifically stating that it was created by the Warhammer Studio art team, which again, some of my favorite artists are part of that team, could link towards the potential future of Tigermen minis in Warhammer the Old World, which would be fantastic. Despite the fact that stripes are not easy to paint, I do imagine that they will look absolutely amazing. Now this could mean that it's just going to be the Tiger Mercenaries for Warhammer the Old World and Total War Warhammer, but this could also link up to the fact that Ind is still entirely a possibility for a number of reasons. Race packs have always been the biggest sellers for Total War Warhammer, and Creative Assembly know that for sure. Every time there's a race pack release, it's always a massive spike up of players, and it's mostly on the top sellers list for a few days. Players have always been wishing for as many races as possible, in Garage, Nippon, Albion, and the rest. We still have a few missing. In fact, we do know that Nagash is going to be a playable race at some point this year, unless there's any major delays. He does fall under his own distinction. Now, whether or not we get the Kingdoms of Ind is subject to both Creative Assembly and Games Workshop. I think it's more of an eventuality for Games Workshop's part because, well, we get so many new playable factions for each of the Warhammer settings nowadays. So I think it mostly depends on Creative Assembly here, depending on a few factors like willingness to do so, because at the end of the day, they've got some other big titles on the works, Medieval 3 and Total War 40k, and also if they see value in it. Plus, the main thing is the Warscape engine, which, as you are aware, Warhammer 3 runs on Warscape. It's an engine that is quite old and is struggling at certain points, which is why the AI sucks at the moment. Procedures, we're not going to make this about Warscape, right? Like, I could, but I won't. So another race pack could easily come in and they can charge, what, £25, I think is the average price for a race pack. Legendary Lords, a Legendary Hero, and a full new roster, with some Tigermen already available that already kind of pushes the roster a little bit too. So a lot of work is kind of already done. And it's not like there's a lot of shortage in terms of what they could do for Ind. Now I don't know what Creative Assembly want to do with that, if they want to do that at all, but what we do know is that as from last year, well basically 6 months ago when we got the financial report, Games Workshop themselves want to push into India financially. Well, they want to push worldwide, going into the Middle East, more into Europe, Asia, and the rest of the stuff. We've seen that obviously with Grand Cafe as they push into China, and it's very likely that they see India as a massive untapped market. Which makes sense, there's a lot of people in India. Grand Cafe has done wonders for the introduction of Warhammer to the Far East, as we do know that it's become quite popular in terms of Total War Warhammer, and also for the miniatures. I speak to a few influencers around the East because I'm always kind of curious to see how Warhammer is doing in different countries. And yeah, it seems to be kind of popular. Very popular in Japan for some reason, which is interesting because like apparently Warhammer is massive in Japan. And Games Workshop haven't thought, well, you know, we have a Japanese nation in Warhammer, why don't we just make a miniatures range for that? Who knows if that's what the plan is in the future? I'd love Nippon, but people are in fact incentivized to buy factions based around their cultures. It's why the Empire is so popular around Europeans, because yeah, you know, that's based on the Holy Roman Empire. Same thing with Grand Cafe and all the rest. It's just general stuff. People are naturally going to gravitate to that. It's why humans are so popular in terms of MMO games, because people are more incentivized to play a faction or a specific culture which looks like them. It's just how it's always been. Not gonna lie, I find that kind of boring myself because I prefer playing like monsters and stuff, but yeah, I'm an outlier here. Apparently it's just minimal. But if Games Workshop want to hit the Indian markets, having Ind as a playable faction works quite well. Now, obviously, that's the case, and it does eventually happen. Well, it needs to still feel like Warhammer. The great thing is that Hindu mythology, for example, this is just like a short example on screen right now, is pretty damn out there. Those are fantastical beasts, which could easily fit into the history of Warhammer. It's like how Cafe was interpreted, and how many other races and factions are interpreted too. It looks great. Obviously, it's a very small example here, because if not, we'd be here for freaking years. Like, India has so much, but there's enough monsters that it's not just going to be another basic human race, right? You want it to be a bit out there, which is why Cafe did so well. You've got a bunch of units, but you've also got like the Crowmen, you've got the Terraforming Sentinels. That type of stuff really elevates it, so it's something unique in its own right. And it's something that I could see happening in Warhammer pretty easily. The translation doesn't require a lot of work. It still has to be done respectfully, of course, but it would take the same approach as what happened with Grand Cafe, which would, during the creation of Grand Cafe, Creative Assembly and Games Workshop worked with sensitivity teams. So everything is introduced in the proper manner. Human-wise, we can expect kind of what we already know from Ind. So there'd be elephant riders, there'd be horse riders, alongside some gunpowder-based units. We do know for a fact that the Doom rocket from the Skaven was actually kind of stolen from Ind, because like the tech was there, and the Skaven will like see something going big boom, and they'll go, yeah, this works, you know. Elephant riders in general would be cool because we know that elephants are in Ind, and I mean, who doesn't want that? You can get gunners on top of that. There's a lot of stuff that can be done to go from real-world history and translating that into Warhammer. It's also easy to take into account that making another human faction should be a bit easier than making another monstrous faction. Like, yes, there'll be a lot of work going into the monsters and stuff, but the rig and the animations for a lot of the humans would end up being reused. So, say for example, you've got some Indish archers. Well, likely they'll take the same animations as Empire archers, because man is still a man. Meaning that a lot of extra work could go into the big monsters, something that is actually going to be kind of cool. Like, could you imagine like this giant monstrous cobra type thing? Like, we don't know of any Indish monsters in Warhammer at the moment, as far as I'm aware, but stuff would have to be made up, like what happened with Grand Cafe. Start position wise, I mean, you could easily have Ind opened up, put 2 lords there and then 1 somewhere else. We do know that Ind, for example, isn't like one unified nation. It's rather a series of kingdoms, hence the name Kingdoms of Ind, and each of them kind of ruled by their own Raja. The Raja title, as far as I'm aware, so excuse my ignorance if not, is basically just like, you know, it's a king. Or they could go in a different route and have the gods actually being the legendary lords, being this whole thing of like, yes, the Pantheon lives among the people, which is something that was mentioned in Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay a long time ago, but again, that lore is so old you never know if it's still relevant. I mean, look how much Grand Cafe has changed from what we knew in the past to the current present-day iteration, which is something that we have physically both in game and in miniature form. It completely depends here, like if Games Workshop want to do this and what they want to do with it, but it could be insane. You could actually see quite a lot of potential here, and I can imagine that the Warhammer studio designers could have a hell of a lot of fun. Again, time will tell if Games Workshop and Creative Assembly or both want to do this, but the most important thing, and I think this is something that needs to be stated over and over again, if you want something in Total War or in the tabletop, you have to keep reminding the companies that you want them. Obviously, respectfully, of course, don't like start threatening developers and stuff, but it's really important to make that line of communication open and show that you want it. This is why we've ended up with so much stuff being changed in Total War over the years, and this is why we eventually got back Warhammer the Old World. Warhammer Fantasy was discontinued, but, you know, the fans kept talking about it, the fans kept really pushing and keeping the flame burning, and there's where we go, right? I think that's really important. It's the same thing. Unless they flat out say no, I mean, they said there's no current plans for Araby, which is kind of fucking stupid in my opinion. There's so much that can be done. Ind is something that really needs to be thought about by Games Workshop and also Creative Assembly as another potential pathway into not only expanding the horizon with potential customers, but also introducing new stuff, which would be kind of cool. In my point of view, it's not about like diversity and inclusion and whatever, it's more about let's get some cool shit in the games. That's the most important thing in my point of view. Now we have Indish units in-game as mercenaries. That's a start. Let's keep that pushing. Why just mercenaries? Why not a full playable culture? This is why I was kind of inspired to make this video, because after seeing those Tiger Men, it's like, oh goddamn, you know, like now mercenaries are going to be a thing, right? Mercenary units properly. That could lead towards getting some really cool stuff in the future. So in the Naga of Koresh, maybe even some samurai from Nippon, which they probably have like a different name, but you know what I mean. Hell, Al-Muqta's desert dogs, right? Stuff like that is possible. But just as versatile.
Yeah, they call me the King of Bronze.
I mean, it's still cool, but it would be nice if we saw everything implemented properly. Finally, we need to talk about the map. Even if Ind does or does not happen, and that could be something like maybe a year down the line, 2 years down the line, it also very much depends in general with what happens with 40k Med Free, because CA have this thing of they get distracted with other projects. I don't want to sound mean there, but they do, and this is why other projects do suffer of hyenas. We need to see the opening up of the VAT. Like, this is something that I wanted to talk about again very heavily here, because it's something that I feel very strongly about, and you guys need to talk about that, because yeah, the map needs to be opened. Even if we don't get it as a full-player race, the map needs to be open. From a lore perspective, it would be great to know. Shows that those areas are kind of like door ajar and so on. Secondly, I mean, it's just like the map has problems right now.
I kind of really want to get Marvel Rivals, but
legendary lords. We're
I do not have a squad.
With Lords of the End Times.
I feel like that is a very squad-based game.
It's be a problem. It's going to be a problem. Way too much whack-a-mole. They need to start opening up areas just to make sure that the game becomes a little bit smoother in that regard. Like in a perfect world, we'd see Ind and Crash both opened up, even if it doesn't mean that we'll get the races. But it's really important to just like for the purpose of gameplay. This whole, oh, let's add in a new region and stick a new legendary lord in there doesn't work. Like the whole province and stuff is cool, but it's becoming chock-a-block and it is becoming kind of jarring. Well, I do think that in the best circumstance, they could open up Ind without a playable race at the beginning. You know, just stick some like starter factions in there, some Empire factions and the rest, just to kind of get the movement going, right? And see how people go around those areas. See what could potentially happen in there and how interest, I think is probably the better word, spikes up on Ind more and more. See it as the whole thing of one good thing could potentially lead to another. I think one good thing opening up the map could lead to not only a better gameplay experience, but also a chance to see how Ind could potentially work, which would then expand further possibilities of revenue for the companies and just more fun stuff for the players to play around with, both in tabletop and also gameplay, video gameplay wise. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let's start a bit of discussion. This video is likely going to come out a little bit late because I just thought of it this morning. Like, I've been thinking about it for a while since I saw the Tiger Men, and I feel like now is the time to talk about it. We need to talk about Ind. Have a good one, guys. I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye.
Ditch the filters with Proactive, the clear skin routine developed by dermatologists.
Scribe makes step-by-step guides for any process with AI. You know what's terrifying at work?
Yeah, back on me, Genix, 100% win rate. Haven't had a single failed run yet. It's not that big of a deal, though. It's really not a huge deal. Also approaching 10% completion, double digits, first in the world. Also, not the biggest deal. It's not a race. But if it was, I'd be winning. Alright. Oh, Butch got something new for me. More tips. What do you got, Butch? Oh! Is this a new color? Oh, that's big. We got Necromancer. Okay, I should also start getting rid of some cats. Who do I not care too much about? I really like Mitzi. She's got good shit. She's very important. I do think Kennedy had potential. It was just an unfortunate run. Mech's still great. Barnaby, great. Well, I didn't love Eggsack, but outside of that, Barnaby was great. Franzia, Franz, yeah, I might get rid of. Yeah, there's really no point. Mech and Barnaby have, well, Barnaby not exactly, but Mech has sniper tower defense, and I don't love spotters. Like, spotters is fine, but it's not great, and none of these were amazing either. But her stats were amazing. Like, her raw stats were pretty amazing.
Never been here before.
But that's not something I think that can carry over. I really want to upgrade my item storage, so we're going to go for that first and foremost. What did Blurt have again? Oh, Blurt didn't really have much.
The fuck was he getting radiation from?
Yes, baby guy. Runwick, what did you have? Yeah, I actually really like that from Brunswick.
Alright.
This can go anywhere except for Tink. Alright, let me give you a kitten. Good speed. I don't really like the water tiles though, but here you can have that. Let's see what I get for that, giving him a kitten. What does the bow do? I should probably keep that. Oh, but all of these are good. The only one I just genuinely don't think I will ever use is Emo Wig. I just can't find a good time for it.
Alright.
Other than just putting it on my tank. But even putting it on my tank, when I take damage, I'm still going to heal the shit. I don't know, I'll try an Emo Wig run, just for the sake of it. Okay, I think everything else is good. The comfort's pretty solid across the board. Do I have enough for an adventure? No, I only have 2. I have 3. Yeah, I need 1 more. Nice. Oh, nice. Well, R.I.P. Duper. Jesus. He's gonna eat it. Yeah, I called it. I knew it.
Historically, of course, these masks would have been worn to the
Guillotina, huh?
entire festival by the participants. But we only done them right before the parade.
Butch again. Butch, it's only been like 3 minutes, man. Yeah, that's pretty fucked up, Bush. Okay. Okay, oh man, alright. I have some really good retired cats, that's for sure. That'll be my strongest group.
I actually don't know how to walk. Fucking got it.
Okay, I'll look for a snake. We got Dr. Beanie's lab. Okay. Do I have anything for that? Well, I'm definitely not giving you Barnaby. Can I send you Duper? No, no one's taking dead cats. Shame. Gilly, what do you have again? Yeah, Gilly's too good to get rid of.
This is fucking terrible.
Maybe I give him a niece. Nah, niece is too good tanking. Kennedy's good. I don't really have anything for him. Joe, what do you have? Yeah, Joe's really good too. Okay, let's just go on an adventure for now. You have a mutation. Plus 2 damage while wet. Okay. You have a mutation. Man, everyone's got mutations. Okay. Interesting. A couple mutations. At least they have Holy Dash. That's good. Alright, let's ride. See how they do.
Who the fuck started a nuke? Middle of Fosnacht.
Nothing really good. This seems like a good one for it. Could be better. Doug's not bad for it. Actually, this is better. Yeah, that's better. Oh yeah, that's actually gonna be nice. That's good stat distribution. Man, BCON coming hot with that dex. Wow, okay. Also good dex on Elisa. Do I have anything else I can capitalize off that? Not really. Guess I could go Thief. I guess maybe Cleric? Yeah. You don't really have a whole lot of good to offer me, do you? Alright, Doug, you'll be the thief. No fighter. Mision could have been fighter, but I feel like it'd be better used here. Seems good. Let's juice up the crit chance. I was going to be using basic attacks, that's useless.
Very exciting shit. I could have literally just stood here.
Damn, no weapon. Okay. Wish I had more crit in here. Actually, spawning tall, no. Need to save that for cleric. So rated is good too, though. I'm probably never going to get the health regen. Let's do it like this.
Well, time to go participate in a raid. Oh, do you just get fucking everything for completing it once? Holy shit.
Okay, interesting. That's fine. Mission, you can take that. Actually, no, you take that for the tall grass. I really want to try an emo wig run, but I don't know where I'd use it. I guess I could go here, but I like this with the regen. Nah, let's try it. I'll give it to you, because it might not matter since I think I'm just spawning shit. I'll give this to you. Okay, let's try it. Oh! I didn't even realize this was a different act. Okay, that's exciting.
Oh, they already killed the fucker.
Oh, now we're going right to left. It's like reading a fucking manga. Nice. Good shot. Wait, what? Why am I at 3 health? Oh, I didn't even see that happen there. Instantly dead. Did Doug have a mutation that made him exceptionally weak?
I shot him. Fuck.
What? Huh. How interesting. I definitely don't want to destroy that body. Alright, marked.
Alright, shit. I think that's where we're leaving off for today. Prime automatic receiver. Love this shit. Let's see.
Okay.
Oh, not 500.
I didn't walk past it. I walked next to it.
We got. Oh, hold on.
Almost killed it. I went for it.
Ooh. Got a few prime attachments now. Fuck yeah.
So why did my thief
Cool. I
have
think that's
3
what we're
HP
leaving
to
off
spare?
today, chat.
Wonder why.